Hey everyone, I'm Mary Cristelli here with PCC Wellness and Recreation, back for another workout for the week. This week we've got some newer things, and so there will be a little bit more explanation on some of those things and some things that we've done before. So we hope you have a good workout. I will include the workout in the description below so that you can see that on this page. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please let us know. We're super happy to have conversation about stuff or to answer any questions you might have. So today, for the warm-up, we're going to start out, this is new, most of the stuff about this move is new. So we're going to start out on the floor. It's called a bear plank to a pike. So we're going to start on the floor with hands and knees, all just four on the floor. You want to pinch your shoulder blades, squeeze your shoulder blades together so that your back's not like dipping or arching up. We want a nice neutral spine. Then you're going to tuck your toes under and press and just bring your knees up off the floor. Okay, so you'll have your knees hovering over the floor. Again, you want to bring your shoulder blades together. All we're doing for this movement is going from this position with our knees hovering to pressing your hips up in the air. You'll feel a stretch in your calves. Now, when we're in this pike position or a down dog position, we want to make sure that we don't have our neck cranked up or tucked in toward our chest. So we're just going to rep it out. Bring those knees back to that hovering position, pressing back into that downward dog or pike position. So that's the first one. That's a bear plank to pike or downward dog. You'll do that for 30 seconds. Then you'll stand up and you can do an air jump rope. And so you can actually have a jump rope, but I have things around and I don't want to be making a mess in my house. So I'm going to pretend like I'm holding a jump rope in my hand. I'm just going to jump 30 seconds. You can do both feet. You can skip, just whatever you want. You can walk in place if you'd like, but you'll do that movement for 30 seconds. And then move into bent arm circles. So it'll be 30 seconds each side. And I love these. So you're gonna spread your legs nice and wide, hinge forward at the hips, having a nice flat back. And then you're gonna just bring one arm down and imagine there's a giant pot and you're stirring it. So you're gonna go one way for about 15 seconds, then alternate, switch, go the opposite way. The remaining 15 seconds, then for the next 30 seconds, you're going to do the other arm. I think these feel really good. So those are bent arm circles. Again, 30 seconds each arm, making sure that you go one way and then, clockwise and counterclockwise. Then we'll come back down to the floor for our last two. Single leg lying leg lifts and then single leg wipers. They're both passive movements, so sometimes when we do leg lifts, we engage our core where we're doing like an ab exercise or a lower back exercise. Neither of these are that. These are stretching and hip mobility, hip openers. So you're just gonna lay flat on the floor, do whatever you like with your hands, and then just raising one leg up and down for 30 seconds and switching, doing the other leg up and down for another 30 seconds. You'll feel the stretch in the back of your hamstring. You don't have to have a 90-degree angle in your hip between your torso and your thigh. If your motion, range of motion is this, that's totally fine. So you're just going to stretch out the backs of those legs. So you'll do one leg for 30 seconds, then the opposite leg for 30 seconds, and then we'll do wipers. So again, you're going to have one leg up, and you're coming across your body. So I've got my right leg that I'm using right now, so I'm just doing like a side-to-side motion. So you're going to go 30 seconds on the right or left, whichever you go first, and then you're going to do 30 seconds on the left. Again, as with the single leg lifts, you don't have to be bringing your leg all the way out to the floor if that's not your range of motion through that joint. Just go to your body's own degree. So those 5 exercises are the warm-up. It'll be 30 seconds for each. You'll do that 2 times through, and then start the strength portion, which will be 4 exercises. We're going to do 8 repetitions of each, 4 rounds through, and we'll start with isometric arm circles. So with this movement, it might seem like, oh, that's going to be really, really great and easy. I don't think I'm going to get any sort of workout from that, but what we're doing is an isometric hold is where we're just holding the contraction. So we're going to imagine, we're just going to squeeze our muscles around our bones. So what we're going to do is standing up for it. You can kneel down for it as well if you'd like, but you're going to have you want to squeeze your muscles like your biceps and your triceps and even your forearms around your bones. So I have my fists closed. That kind of helps facilitate that. You can keep your arms open, whatever works best for you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Imagine you have a pencil back between your shoulder blades and you don't want to let that fall. And we're just going to do little circles forward. And you go 8 forward, then you go 8 backward. Okay. Again, squeezing your shoulder blades together, making sure you got those bones nice and tight, or those muscles nice and tight around your bones. So we do 8 forward little circles, 8 backward little circles. Then I like to make a nice like duck beak, crane beak, whatever you might want to call it, and you're going to do big circles. Again, keeping those muscles nice and tight around those bones. So you go 8 forward, 8 backward. Okay, so those are isometric arm circles. Then you're going to stand up and do single leg deadlifts. And so we're not using weight for these. If you want to, if you have dumbbells at home, you can do that. Really what we're looking for on these is some balance and stability, working through that single side stuff. We call it unilateral. So for these, I do have 4 different objects that I'm using. I have a foam roller that I'm using just because I don't have a lot of space and I didn't want to be all cluttered over here, but you can use a chair, like the arm of a couch, anything like that. You want the tallest target that you're going to use to be about no higher than mid-thigh. So you pick on that. I'm going to use my foam roller to demonstrate. Then I have a step stool here, a yoga block, and then I'll use the floor. And so this is just a progressive thing. The height of your target is going to be based on your comfortability with the movement, your balance and stability through each side. If you're using like a higher target like a foam roller on your right leg, then you want to make sure you do the same on your left. We want to make sure we're working the same degree through both sides of the body. We don't want one side to be stronger, more flexible, more balanced than the other. So we want to make sure that if we're using a high target for one leg, that we're using it for the other leg. So it's a single leg movement. So I'm going to stand on my left foot. I'm reaching for my target, which is about 2 feet away from me, with my right hand. And so you're just going to bend that leg a little bit, touch your target, and then pressing up through your heel, you'll stand back up and then come back down again. So when we're doing these types of movements, sometimes we'll fall forward on our toes, but we want to make sure that we're activating the correct muscle group. So I will, if I'm struggling with that, I will pick my toes up off the floor to remind myself to press through my heel. So now I'm on the right side. I'm just going to squat down and press up. You can do a shorter target. That's going to make the movement a little bit more challenging. So if you are working with the foam roller and you feel like, oh, that's way too easy for me, this height anyway, you can try something shorter. I have a step stool here, and again, right leg on the floor, left leg touching the target. I've also got a yoga block here that you can use as a shorter target. You can use a water bottle, a glass, anything like that. And again, just touching down to that. The most challenging type of target for this one is the floor. So just again, pressing through that heel. So those are single leg deadlifts. You'll choose a target that you are most comfortable with, that feels challenging enough that you feel like it's working, but not so difficult that you may get hurt or feel really, really frustrated. We don't want that. So we'll do 8 on each side. You can alternate if you'd like, but I want to challenge you to do all 8 on one side and then switch and do all 8 on the other side. One thing, and I apologize for not having said this earlier, is you can, if you're struggling with keeping that foot up in the air, you can rest that back toe on the floor to help, and that will help keep you stable enough to do the movement. Okay, and it's not like you're putting any weight on it. It's just it's there for comfort. So those are single leg deadlifts, and then we'll do an inchworm to a plank jack. So we've done inchworms before. We're going to stand with our feet hip width distance apart. Nice straight spine. As we've talked about prior, like you want to pretend that you have a can at your belly button and you're squeezing your abs together to hold that can in place. This way we have our core engaged for this movement. You're going to hinge forward at the hips, walk your hands out, and then you're gonna jump your feet wide and back, and then walk back up. So you do 8 repetitions of that. So it's 1 repetition is down into the plank, 1 plank jack, and coming back. So you do that 8 times, and the last one we have are alternating lateral lunges. So we're gonna move from side to side. So again, you'll stand about feet hip width distance apart, and you're just gonna step out to the side in a lunge, come to the opposite side. If you have dumbbells at home and you wanted to use those, you'd hold 1 dumbbell in each hand, and you would frame your legs. You'd have 1 arm on the outside, 1 on the inside, and just step in side to side, 8 each way. So 4 rounds of that, and then moving into the cardio piece, which is gonna be 3 rounds, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest, for a total of 6 minutes. So we have floor touch jacks and squats with an alternating like cross knee crunch. So floor touch jacks first. So you jump your feet wide and touch the floor, crossing over, okay? So you just jump wide, right hand to left foot, and so on. So you do that for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds, and then squats with an alternating knee cross. So you want a nice wide stance. You're gonna squat down and cross your knee over your body. All right, so just alternating that. You do that for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds. Again, 3 rounds of that, total is 6 minutes. And then we have our core portion. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. So for the core, we have a bear plank with a shoulder tap. So we've done the bear plank for the warm up, but I'll go through that again. And then an X body crunch. So bear plank, shoulder tap. A lot of times we can do plank shoulder taps, which is where you're gonna be in a full plank, but today we're gonna be in the bear plank. So again, we'll start with our hands and our knees on the floor. Nice flat back. Tuck your toes. Oh, come on here. You're gonna tuck your toes and then just hover your knees off the floor, okay? Again, keeping that back nice and straight. You're gonna look down at the floor and you're just gonna alternate tapping your shoulders. So the taps like this, right arm to left shoulder, left arm to right. So you're gonna do 10 each of those, total of 20. And then come over onto your backside. We're gonna do a crunch. So in any sort of crunching position, we wanna make sure that we're protecting our neck. And the motion is not a crunching of the neck, it's a crunching of our abs. So the way that we facilitate healthy neck and spine alignment is imagine that you have like a peach or an orange that you're holding between your chin and your chest. And so I gauge that by using my fist. That's an easy marker. And we don't want the peach or orange to fall, so we don't want to have our neck cranked back too much, but we also don't want to smash it, so we don't want to tuck our chin to our chest. So you're just going to imagine that. And we're not moving our neck at all, crunching at the core. Then you're gonna cradle your head in your hands. So I've got my thumbs just right below my ear. You can give yourself a little neck massage if you'd like. You're gonna lay back. Again, bringing your legs up into the air. We call this like a version of a tabletop. So you wanna be able to see your toes over the tops of your knees. So we don't need them up here like this. We just want a nice calves parallel with the floor. And you can cross them, whatever you prefer. An X crunch is where you crunch up and cross over. So I'm crossing my left elbow to my right knee, coming back, cross right elbow to left knee. And just alternate that, 10 rounds, 10 reps on each side, so 20 reps total. And again, you'll do the core portion 3 times through. That is the workout for this week. I hope that you enjoy it. We had some newer things today, so I hope that it's that's fun for you and that you enjoy what we added. Again, if you have any questions or comments, concerns, anything like that, please let us know. I hope you have a really awesome workout, and we will see you next week. Take it easy.